He uses fire to shape his art and battles it on the job. Hear the story behind these pieces.
Does this look like a photo? Look again. This Bulgarian native is making her mark for the first time at this year's festival.
Art that makes you move with music from around the country and here at home. We tell you who's taking the stage.
Art you can taste. We take you inside the kitchen with Chef Cindy Hudson and hear from D. Wade's culinary artist.
Welcome to a special edition of Six in the Mix. I'm Roxanne Vargas.
And I'm Adam Kuperstein. We're coming at you from the beautiful Sonesta Coconut Grove, Miami, and getting you ready for the 53rd annual Coconut Grove Arts Festival. Well, Roxy, we have such a great vantage point of the festival from here, and if you've seen the poster this year, it looks familiar, doesn't it?
It definitely echoes the poster artist's vision of what she sees as a Coconut Grove Arts Festival, which has given a place to artists from all over the world to showcase their artwork right here.
Take in all the colors, the shapes, the taste of Coconut Grove. Paint, pictures, art that pleases your palate, and art that makes you move. It is a celebration of the arts at the 53rd Annual Coconut Grove Arts Festival, a 3-day event welcoming top talent from around the world to showcase their art along nearly 1 mile in the heart of Coconut Grove.
Never seen the sky so blue.
Coconut Grove wasn't exactly founded as an artist colony back in the late 1800s.
This world-renowned festival started as a project to promote the Coconut Grove Playhouse in 1963. Today, that clothesline art show has evolved into a juried festival with more than 1,300 entries from internationally recognized artists. 360 are chosen.
2, 1.
A view from the bay into the heart of the Grove. Madeline Albling is the 53rd artist to be given the honor of being the festival's poster artist. A transplant from Ohio who gave up practicing law to do this. Give into her calling to paint beautiful pictures with a palette knife.
I have been painting merely for 10 years now, not for very long at all. And to have this kind of honor, it was just shocking to me. And now all the hoopla that goes with that. It feels good.
This weekend, we celebrate art and all its forms at the 53rd Annual Coconut Grove Arts Festival.
We kick things off with an artist born and raised right here in Miami, Christopher Dudot. He fights fires by day and in his spare time channels South Florida's sleek lifestyle into his works of art.
Whenever I paint, it's usually just some type of linear pattern that kind of just comes alive as I go. Born and raised here in Miami, hanging around with graffiti artists, learning from guys that knew how to work with fiberglass and such. Basically, I started on my own by repairing surfboards. And in order to cover up the repair marks, I would actually paint over it, do these little linear designs that I had just come up with out of nowhere. And it went from painting on surfboards and skateboards to painting on canvases, and to plexiglasses, and then to walls. And that's where I've transitioned over to working with, elements, wood, metal, stone. So right now I'm working on the frames for one of the pieces that I have going into the Coconut Grove Art Festival. What I do is, I work this wood, sand it down, I get it to where I like the finish, and then what I actually do is I burn it. I burn it with this torch right here, and what it does is it brings out all the soft grains. The soft grains react to the heat, they become dark, and the harder grains, which were the darker grains before, become the lighter grains. Right? So this is the fun part. I'm a firefighter. I like playing with fire. Just good old fuego. I finally found something that is a very therapeutical thing for me. It helps me to transition, back and forth through that life of being, that superhero at work. So art actually balances me. You want to make sure that it always keeps that essence of purity, and innocence. Being a working artist nowadays in Miami is actually is actually a pretty cool thing. It's you feel a little bit more appreciated. The Grove Arts Festival is family. I always looked up to the artists that were there. My mother took me every year growing up, and that's why it's kind of surreal for me. It's a dream come true, to be perfectly honest. The flags are something that came to me in a dream. I saw the lines in a flag, becoming patterns, and I woke up the next day and it was like a huge light bulb. I've tried to bring so many different concepts and approaches, and I like to wow people with such a simple concept, which is just lines. Now, without the art, can a city go on? Absolutely, but where will the color be? What I'm saying? Where will the inspiration be? Since I've never had any formal artistic training, I've never gone to school, I've never, taken any type of courses. This is something that just came to be because I loved it. I'm Christopher Do and I'm a visual abstract artist.
While Christopher Dudot uses heat for his art, this group of artists use heat on a different palette. They're cooking up amazing dishes. Celebrity chef Richard Ingram and many other top chefs from around South Florida will be at this year's festival, taking part in the Culinary Pavilion.
I grew up going to these festivals, and now it has come full circle for us to be here for the second year in a row, to be able to expose everybody to the love and the passion that we have for food at the Coconut Grove Arts Festival, and it's such a pleasure to be able to do that.
Food and art certainly come together at the festival. You can walk up and check out the food at the stands, the food trucks too, but you will take a taste of the Caribbean with Chef Cindy Hudson from Ortonique on the Mile.
Take a taste of the islands. Take a taste of the sun. Here at Ortonique on the Mile.
Oh, produce is in.
Executive Chef Cindy Hudson serves up her cuisine of the sun.
Ethnically driven, global, seasonal, flavors that come from all over the world. And together we put them on a plate, and that's my palette, that's my art.
Your eyes will first feast on the restaurant's decor. Rich mahogany, burnt sienna drapes, warm, inviting, just like her food.
I incorporate art into my plates every single day. It's necessary for me to make sure the food looks as good as it tastes.
Each ingredient, each spice, carefully constructed onto Chef Hudson's artful dishes.
I think every chef is a bit of an artist. Every artist likes to be a bit of a chef, and then they just concoct colors and flavors on their canvas.
And just like the Coconut Grove Arts Festival is a staple in South Florida, so is this spot, known as an oasis on the Mile.
I've been in Miami a long time. I enjoy the arts. It was way before I was just a mom. I had a great life down here, and every year we were so excited we couldn't wait to see what the poster was going to be.
If you want to sample the great food at the Culinary Pavilion, here's a look at the featured chefs at this year's festival, which include Chef Giorgio Rapicavoli, as well as Miami Heat's own Chris Bosch and Dwayne Wade's personal chefs, Terrence Williams and Richard Ingram. Make sure you visit cgaf.com/culinary to find out who else is cooking at the festival.
Coming up, wet days in Miami are usually frowned upon, but we'll introduce you to an artist who finds her inspiration when the skies open up.
Plus, what would a festival be without some tunes? We'll tell you who's rocking the stage at the music showcase.
And what do you get when you match future artist with featured artist at the Miami Seaquarium? The answer coming up in just a bit.
Welcome back to a special edition of Six in the Mix, celebrating the 53rd annual Coconut Grove Arts Festival. One of the artists you must check out is Pavlina Alea, classically trained from Bulgaria. And believe it or not, the tropical weather is what inspires her art.
Painting is a tedious process sometimes, but I happen to like it. I'm born and raised in Bulgaria, and I've been doing the arts ever since I can remember. I use both hands, my hands, and the brush to blend. I get really affected by my environment, so when I moved down here, I started noticing water everywhere. And even when I drive in my car, these torrential rains, you see just the water like down the window. And it just was enchanting to me. And I'm still obsessed with that. So Miami changed my work. My paintings are like a marriage between water and figure, and the movement of water and movement of figures into water. I'm still working on this piece. It takes a while. I'm like at the detail stage now, and it's called Scarlet Medusa. I just love the combination of the green with that type of red. And I just, wanted to show the suspended hair and kind of the abstracted image that gets reflected on the surface of the water from below. When you see underwater paintings, you feel like everything is quiet, like a meditation, because when you dive underwater, it's just quiet. And as a child, you just love water instantly when you're a child, so it's a natural thing. It looks like it's glowing, like a glowing light. I don't sketch with a pencil, I just start with the paint, and then I tighten the image. Yeah, these are my tools and the canvas. I've always heard about the festival, like it's legendary among the art community. When I got the email, I happened to be chatting with a friend of mine, and I told her, I am floored right now because I just got accepted to the Coconut Grove. Miami is a very, very artsy city. I really appreciate that, and I love living here because of that. I couldn't imagine living in a place where there's no art and there's no appreciation for it. It's a very inspirational place. It's beautiful. Hi, I'm Pavlina, and I paint for a living.
When you're surrounded by all this art and beauty, you gotta have a good soundtrack to go with it. And luckily, this year's festival is loaded up with live music for whatever type of tunes you're into.
It was a game changer for the Coconut Grove Arts Festival last year, and now it's back. The Miami New Times Live Music Showcase has quickly become a must-see attraction at the festival. The lineup this year includes local fan favorites like Grammy-nominated Locos por Juana, Raquel Sofia, and one of my personal favorites, the Deaf Poets will be there. National acts are coming to South Florida for the festival too, all the way from the Big Apple to the Big Easy. You can get a full list of performing artists and when they take the stage by heading over to cgaf.com/music.
Still to come on this special edition of 6 in the Mix, we take you into the creative space of this whimsical artist who's been showcasing at the festival for years.
Plus, we catch up with the man who's been at the center of all 53 festivals, Monty Trainer.
You're watching a special edition of 6 in the Mix
from the Sonesta Coconut Grove, Miami.
Thanks to the Coconut Grove Arts Festival, the Miami-6 Aquarium, and Dade County Public Schools, this is an opportunity that is beyond any classroom experience that could ever happen.
Marine life serves as the inspiration for Miami-Dade County Public School students. They had the opportunity to be paired with some of this year's featured artists.
It's all part of the festival's initiative to keep art alive in our community 365 days a year. And our cameras were there as artists and students found inspiration at the Miami-6 Aquarium.
Anything taught in isolation stays in isolation. This gives them the opportunity to reach into their science classes, their bio classes, their writing classes, their reading classes, math. Everything is now put to practical experience with the flair for the arts.
I look at this giant empty canvas into it, then I start getting inspired. Inspiration comes working. Like if you wait for inspiration to come, it will never come.
When you meet face to face, you only see a face, but when you see someone's work, you see their soul and what their passion is.
It made me realize that I can use this as inspiration for my artwork as well.
Basically, I'm applying that into the plywood.
And then to
make a fish.
They get to touch it, smell it, taste it, feel it, breathe it. It doesn't get any better than that, and that you can't do that in a textbook or with just a pencil writing words.
The photographers took pictures of the animals, the sketchers sketched the animals. But at least what I did is I took a lot of pictures. Any cool shot that I saw, I tried to take it, even if it meant stretching my back out and anything like that. You gotta get that good shot no matter what. And after that, we came back here and we fed the dolphin, the bottlenose dolphin. His name was Balboa. That was pretty awesome. My hands still smell like fish, but it's cool.
Mom, eat it.
It's great, to see the different animals and, the VIP package, getting to interact with them a little more than normal.
We actually photographed a lot of the vegetation, the creatures in the sea life, different animals, and the dolphins, very fishy. I never actually fed a dolphin before, and definitely using some of what I saw today for my art pieces.
It's better than college because it's an actual step-by-step of what they would do if they wanted to do this as a profession.
While Monty's been bringing art to South Florida for 53 years, our next featured artist was here on day one. She wasn't invited though, but she is now. Kristen Holman adding a little mystique to the festival.
This piece I'm improvising a little. He had shorts and I think I'm going to give him long pants. It's very colorful, very whimsical jewelry. I love this studio. It's perfect for me because it has windows on all sides. I started 42 years ago. First I started forging with bronze, then I started fabricating in silver, and I just kept wanting to do more and more and more, and one step led to another. I fell in love with the process, and from then on, every single one of my pieces has enameling or cloisonné enameling. This is a green lion saw. It's made by a guy that makes tattoo equipment, and it's like a piece of art. And I'm making art with a piece of art. If you feel really good when you're doing your work, the piece has good energy. It's not like a mass-produced work that you just crank out, and it doesn't have a heart or soul. This is a mini torch I use. It's a very hot heat, so I can concentrate and do tiny, pinpoint little areas. You get to my age and you think you can't get better. I get better every single year. Because I didn't take any classes, and because I sit here alone in my studio day after day, and I don't have any other influences, I've developed a style and something that nobody else has. She's called the Reef Angel, and then comes with little fish. I get into some really, really good shows, but the acceptance that I really wait for is the one from the Coconut Grove Art Festival. It's like my favorite show. It's such an honor to be in this show. It really is. To think that I've been able to do it for 42 years is totally mind-boggling to me. I'm selling to people all over the world are seeing my work and they're ordering. I never thought I'd be sending things to Australia and Norway and Singapore and Russia and places, but that's helped my work. And you just have to keep trying, and you just can't give up when things get bad. Art feeds the soul. Art is a world without art would be just dead. Hello, I'm Kristen Holman, and I'm a whimsical enamelist and jeweler.
This is always one of my favorite parts of this special. It's chatting here with Monty Trader, president of the Coconut Grove Arts Festival. Monty, you do it each and every year. The 53rd year of the Coconut Grove Arts Festival, better yet again.
Well, we always try to make it better, you know that, Roxy. We have 380 of the best artists in the country. We have a strict jurying process, 2 days of jurying, 1,400 applications, and we select 380 of the best.
This year, easier than ever to get here.
Well, we're working with Metro Rail. Alice Bravo will set us up with Metro Rail, and it's all fantastic. And then we run a bus called the Grove Corridor from those stations into the festival. Then we've got a joint ticket with the boat show where they can park at Bayside, take a water taxi to the boat show, and from the boat show they take a water taxi to the art festival. And then a big thing we're doing this year is we've created a bicycle valet.
Wow.
Where we have space. Green Mobility has helped us with this, and we're going to have room for 200 to 300 bicyclists come in, no charge for the valet.
Joggers, you can come on, walkers as well. Hey, even if you Uber around, I know that there's a partnership with Uber as well.
Yes, we have an Uber station we're setting up at the Coconut Grove Playhouse where the Uber can drop off and pick up.
So all you have to do is let go and take in all of the art here at the festival, which we celebrate this weekend, and we celebrate every single day, 365 days here in the Grove.
Yes.
All right, Monty, you have a lot of work to still do.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to get
Thank
right
you,
to that.
Roxanne.
Thank you, as always.
We are not done. When we return, you'll hear from our final featured artist, whose journey to this year's festival began in the Florida Straits.
Welcome back. You know, a lot of South Florida has been built on the shoulders of Cuban immigrants. Our next featured artist, Ray Alfonso, made it to this country by crossing the Florida Straits, all in search of freedom in his life and in his art.
The most intimidating thing in the world for artists, especially painters, is to stare at a blank canvas. I'm gonna die way before I run out of ideas. So that happens after you have many paintings behind you. I find things and incorporate into my work. I paint them. I actually use a lot of pure pigments. I use old stones and I grind them and I make color out of it. I do hundreds of layers of that, and then I scrape it, then I paint it again, then I kind of set them on fire. I put that with that. Isn't that cool? Being an artist, you're that. It's being an artist. It's not, you don't do art for fun. Most painters, I'm this way too. It's like we're painting out of emotions. I mean, a lot of this is my whole history. So, and I do a lot of like little engraving. All of this is kind of cut into it. Like all the lines that you see actually cut it. I was born and raised in Cuba. I grew up in Matanzas, a city right next to Havana. And when I turned like 13, 14, I wanted to leave. So I started building boats to leave, and after 13 times trying, I made it to America, and I went to San Francisco and kind of really grew up again. Started learning about the art world, and I really liked it, and started painting, and started finding things and fabricating sculptures out of found stuff. You know, I put them on the wall, paint them all one color. It's called veladura. It's like a layer, and then I clean it, and then I stand back, look at it. It needs this, it needs that. So it's a conversation, really. Cubans have this thing, doesn't matter where you go. After a certain amount of years, somebody turns it on and you have to come back to Miami. We found this beautiful property, we built our studios here, and I love gardening and I love nature. We just love the sanctuary. We always create a place to create. I'm a city person, but I love nature and I just love trees and being outside. My work is kind of like a expression of the way that I look at the world. I paint a substrate called Baltic birch. It's just a piece of wood. And then I add things to it. I add color to it. It's actually tar.
Because that was the base?
No, that's so I can set them on fire. So tar is very flammable. So then it dries and it goes inside. I write old poetry and old sayings from Cuba. The writing is fairly new. I think the last 2 or 3 years. And it's actually carved into it, it's not painted. I think a lot of artists that use mixed media are artists that are self-taught. I didn't go to formal art school. My process is very intensive. It's like I sweat and it's really kind of physical work. I love the way it looks. They look like jewels to me. Layers and layers and layers, so I scrape at them. I love color, texture, and I can't even stop. Yeah. I hate to admit this is terrible. But Miami has been the greatest city I've had for making art. I just find colors that are under there that this is my vice, my job, my second love. To me, this is like what I'm gonna leave when I'm gone. I mean, my paintings are kind of like my children. All of my energy, my soul, whatever you call it, I don't know how many words, into it, and then I let them go. So they have their own life somewhere else, and I think it's pretty cool. I'm Ray Alfonso, I'm an abstract painter.
And that is just the beginning. More amazing artwork that we're going to see all weekend long.
I'm so ready for it. It's so cool. And thank you guys so much for joining us in this special edition of 6 in the Mix. I'm Adam Kuperstein.
And I'm Roxanne Vargas. We will see you at the festival.